memo kwababio enfambra na churchmadi. Now my men tried to let you know baby and Chief Justice and Air say that's Article 2.2 Edeba 3.4 Hono. Or say the Supreme Court shall, for the purposes of a declaration under Clause 1 of this article, make such orders that give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declaration so made. 3. Any person or group of persons to whom an order or direction is addressed under Clause 2 of this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out the terms of the order or direction. 3. Any person or group of persons to whom an order or direction is addressed under Clause 2 of this article by the Supreme Court shall duly obey and carry out the terms of the order of the direction. Now, 4, failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order or direction made or given under Clause 2 of this article constitute a high crime under this Constitution and shall, in the case of the President or the Vice President, constitute a ground for removal from office under this Constitution. That's the provision there. Delamema, 3 minutes for us to wrap up.
That is not in dispute. I don't think there is anybody who has questioned the supremacy of the Supreme Court. Nobody has done that. 1, 2. One more MPP form say, oh, MPP, ya two abamano or parliament, or say on supporting a parliamentary candidate or call as independent, and they are saying, say, because they want to defend, they say the people are expressing intention. Good. Intention. Now let's see. Intention. You say, nyansa woman and nyanseni. Me wahoy me yire, and I say a yisine yire. Or X. Intimate netie. A yisine ne yire netie. Ne yire ne sorry no pa no catch and say, Daddy, I have an intention. My intention is to go back to my ex, who is in the US, who is coming in the year 2025 March. Or back the year 2025. Me boyfriend, my former boyfriend, or back me person me jaw na me call wareno. But me fee March 2025. The person has expressed, your wife has expressed intention.
Yeah.
Say, oh jawa ako warene ex intention. Will any sensible man allow the wife to be with her or with him? Because he said 2025 March and son and the ex live here wako wareno.
But aren't you comparing apples
and oranges?
Thank you. Somebody see, somebody looks at it and says, you are comparing apples and mangoes. I am interpreting the word intention. And common sense should let everybody who is listening know. It's not comparing, I'm not comparing. I am interpreting the word intention and give you an example. Intention. Here, your wife has expressed intention to marry another man. Will the wife stay with you? An MPP member of parliament has expressed intention to work with another political party. Would you allow that MP to be with you again? That is the intention we are talking about here, not apples and mangoes. But 1, 2. Now 2. I am surprised that Supreme Court goes into ruling. And the Supreme Court said, 1. Oh, say, Asemo there will not be any by-election. Why is the Supreme Court interested in by-elections? Because Embrano no go to here no say 3 months before election you cannot have a by-election. MPP MP no ko file as independent onim Mrano. Am wa ba ti ko dwa santia ba bontia ba because he knows the law and he knows that the moment of file as independent candidate no wa forfeit the membership of the MPP onim ono na kan kwachiaka ababonti NDC MP say onim say the moment of filing onim until the law takes effect it has no problem. Now, you say your politicians be or my say ya. If you are non come to your dim. Say asamuno kanwa anopa are correct. Edru nyumra are wrong because are affected. MPP subai any. Because 2020 for me na MP I can was a me. A coy independent. Party no actually ye ko yi ni free ho. The sitting president, Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, Eko campaigning or constituency against the man still won. We need you. And then another MP, me and sa our party will contest as independent candidate. Now the Emrano ye Juma said there be ye you woman free war. Essence, Emrano, the pool, notice of pool from the letter commissioner by Speaker Honichire say. Sir, the Pamian say, say, woman to many MPP in Yejumabu. And about Kusa on to many NDC in Yejuma, Nipa and 9. Emrano, the third year, the speaker here. No, him. Ya say MPP for fee say anytime be a woman but chill one run to Supreme Court to be an open judgment. That is the perception. That perception, now makes Chief Justice, the President, the Majority Leader, and other people said they are tarnishing the image of the judiciary. Because, oh brother, your Ghana has it. And your mommy birth certificate. Say and they show say identity. Say I was born in Ghana. Me di 18 years. Ye kwa ko tuaba. Me kwa ko churo me di. Me the birth certificate no call for identification. The Supreme Court says want to me in fact birth certificate na Ghana nkasa de ma wo say e sha e dance di say you wo Ghana no you can't use it to register.
No.
But you can use passport which you use will the birth certificate in the passport. The Supreme Court to say birth certificate cannot be used as self-identification in this country.
Was it contained in the CI that is regulating that election? And I said it wasn't. For every election, usually we have CIs that regulate those elections, right? And I'm asking...
if you are not aware, let me tell you, say the Supreme Court ruled that we cannot use birth certificate as a self-identification to register. That is what I'm talking about, not the CI. I am not talking about CI in Part 127. I am not. Stop. I am not talking about CI.
No. I just want you to make...
Stop misleading. I am not talking about I am talking about the fact, say,
maybe
somebody went to court.
Yes.
And asked the Supreme Court to rule on birth certificate.
Yes.
Birth certificate, no, you ruling. Supreme Court to say, birth certificate that Ghana abide their mouth or abide wo no. What to me find the identification
also boy.
Yes.
Supreme Court Jina so na ye den.
Supreme Court Jina so say.
Yes.
The question you are asking is
because
dangling. I don't understand.
No, because CIB or say requirement for someone to register no A B C D. The Supreme Court obviously will use that.
I am telling you, sometimes I'm saying you are getting it completely wrong. Okay. Please, after here you can find out and find. I am saying somebody went to court and said the birth certificate must not be used to register as a self-identification. Yes. So you cannot use NHIS, you cannot use driving license, you cannot use birth certificate. And I'm saying birth certificates are buying the demand. I say you're Ghana. Yeah, we were Ghana hospital and you're demand. And I say you were Ghana if you. And this I catch them say if you know what I say no problem. I buy the demand. And he say I buy the birth certificate in my kola ya wonu na sakola ndi 18. Na kola dey kwa control di na Supreme Court me ka say akola na ayama the birth certificate to Ghana na we be di 18 no. He cannot use the birth certificate to register because of that. As I said, get back but passport there. But to me the birth certificate is the passport. But to me the passport no call self identification. Doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah, George. My also 3 minutes.
Yeah, simple. What the birth certificate edge passports. But who bet me the birth certificate according visa to crime. What are we talking about? What are we talking? Oh,
but the birth certificate is what you use to take the passport. So you use the passport.
It's a basic document to get the passport. Yes. But it cannot be used to travel.
So
you need the passport.
You see how incompetent you are. It's a conveyor belt. The birth certificate is the best conveyor belt.
Why are you saying that?
Without the birth certificate, you can't get the passport. Conveyor belt. Yes. Don't be incompetent.
Let him make his point.
You don't make one sense at all. I make sense. One sense is not your head.
Intelligent
than you. No, guys.
You are your hoping.
Guys,
everybody knows.
Oh, guys.
Insult me because you are really.
No, we cannot take this. Let me take a break here. Let's take a break. I'll be back.
Who have lost their MPs without the option of a by-election, and the irreparable harm to the MPs who would have lost their seats in Parliament in these last few weeks to the 7th December elections, if the meaning put on Article 97(1)(g) by the Speaker was enforced without a clear determination of the disputes around it. This court found it expedient to compel the parties to allow an early hearing rather than make an order that would last only 10 days. This is the reason for the Supreme Court's orders abridging the 14 days allowed for defending a constitutional action through a statement of case and directing the parties to file their respective statements of cases within 7 days and present the issues for resolution immediately thereafter. If the parties had complied with the court's orders, this would have taken all of the 10 days the applicant urges an ex parte order ought to last. Compliance would also have enabled this court to dispose of this case by this week, including the question of whether the suit is competent in form or the jurisdiction of this court has been properly invoked. It is important, and the question of whether the jurisdiction has been properly invoked is different from whether the jurisdiction exists. It's a different legal question. It is important to place on record that both the plaintiff and the Attorney General have complied with these orders, and this court is able to complete hearing of this suit if the Speaker chooses to file no processes. For the above reasons, the application is refused.
Lord, we are extremely grateful. Ask the court, please, Ismail.
So, Mr.
Lord, we're grateful.
So, Mr. Sorry, will you be filing anything? Or should we hear without you?
Oh, no, I don't have instructions on that matter, but especially so that if my lady looks at the affidavit that I filed, I said the order was served on the Speaker on Monday. So he has 7 days. I'll speak with him, draw his attention to the court's ruling. And then,
so it was served on him on, the order was served on him on Monday.
That's Monday.
Monday was 29th?
No, last Monday is the 20th.
Monday, just about 2 weeks ago.
No, wait.
No,
on the 20th. It was served on the 20th.
On the 20th?
No,
and today is the
21st. It was 21st.
So he's gone past the 7 days?
No, but if he's served with the order on that specific day, telling him to file within 7 days, it takes effect from the date of service. That is my understanding.
So he was supposed to file by 28th?
No, by the rules of the court, where the time limited for doing something is 7 days or less, weekends are
So he was supposed to file by when?
If we take out. No. Today? Yes.
This suit is adjourned to Friday for completion. File your processes by close of day tomorrow. This is a constitutional crisis. We are living in a country where the parliament is not sitting. What is going on?
I'm not too sure that this suit is to enable parliament sit. It's to declare.
Very well. Yes, I take it that's really in your
so
own
if I would plead that because look at the time that we are closing and the fact that we've done some work, filing it by Friday is not it's not possible. I also need to still go and take instructions. So maybe next week is fair.
All right, Oguswa Nnawotwi Jumedi. Me power Charles we had to take a break now, but thank you for still sticking around. George, you're making a point.
Yeah, but I say dear Yake Sabi Emra and the Jumeti for Constitution, you know, Emma Quines won't be Biasia, a constitutional and chassia. I was all called Supreme Court and Hameboa. I found your marking majority leader. Some ran on wedges, Bonnie Bear and why. I say my bum when him penny for. If you mean TRC A, B, C, D. And so speaker, I think say different. May or move to an because BBSC because of election to which you Supreme Court need the safety net. Who say Emran will be a chiamrana, will be caught no more boy no ejaso. And I know cray woman say Supreme Court ruling be brebia, ebeyamra, and ameboa. Yes. Auntie, and only what's here, near Timichi, Yamra no ye near Quenim. Dear see a tear for near for. Nina say, Bibi, make a dress yamity, me say, maybe my dream when I say, and I'm on Chianco for tree. And yet against this current parliament. Because I'm ready to share, send you better cheap parliament, you have parliament no buy. Send you call phone cross carpet by heart. Because we say you were straight 137 plus 1 independent. When say and yes across year, e can say be a party be betting at top members from the other side. Meboa no across the carpet on come back to the constituents. No cre woman say the constituents no or to ma one e bia wo kojo brace nti and two because who call independent nti no to ma wo meboa and is also to say ma ko join party wire and you sign ko omo nchen na ko kire wo mo do you get it but we and say bia ye for election nti omo nche ase ye ni ehu ni enkoye nim nti ye de Supreme Court no and 5-member panel no almost say bibia say mra o mugina so the year decision ni nyina omo kan ma so and Justice Gay who said there no and I speak Chief Justice can say enye political party dispute no omo what is invoke here interpretation of the constitution and on my example say former member of parliament on the ticket of the NDC I was Supreme Court former General Secretary of PNC, Justice Poaman, or Supreme Court. So why say Sabi, my joint party painty, my brabon ain't mean progressive because me am raniming and person me call bencher. Once I'm my party ni painty, I cannot be objective. Media men can neutrality, me can objectivity. I me my host to Kojo, my host to Kwamina Dankanya Lotte Jacob. I will Costa TV pay. You really allocate shaking inside. Because that time here or power, I push Kwamina Duncan to answer a lot of things. So you are beginning of things may be bias. Or say, hey, 2 strikers. You know, or shake him and son. You get it? You can be objective. And no near pay. Because Supreme Court, you must be objective and abide by the laws. And then I make us say in the US, we have Republican identified known members of the US Supreme Court. Same for Democrats. So enti ye bet omo di mrano na ye adwuma ada na ho omo timi ye ahaye ntimi ye enti mo me ma mrano enye adwuma. You can disagree with the Supreme Court's ruling and decisions, but it doesn't stop them from so omo ye wo mo adwuma. That's what we want, and on ye de build your mind. Okay, all right, thank you very much. And call our last subject about the Afrobarometer survey, free SHS corruption findings, who benefit at the elections. Afrobarometer this week, the findings be by Ausha. From their survey, 85% of Ghana for say the free SHS was a buying twice no matter which a buying would come in 2025 also share now twice again in the same election in the same survey they knew about state institutions corrupt about candidates senior Ghana for it then I was candidate consider candidates say neighbor influence or more choices in the election, honesty, candidate character, campaign promise or form running mate to form so really I mean let's look at the free SHS ensure the corruption of our state institutions and what can be done. Let me start with you, George, because we're starting back with it. I'm say survey unless I give you 5 minutes on this. Yeah, survey the me kwajo isi ameti hey me per survey. I believe in survey. Sometimes we disagree. But I know say survey be aba more pointers as a politician and an institution survey about you. So between among de ayeshye pa be boama and sakraya bem. Do you get it? And the survey here abai ya hu say almost corruption ye bibia ehia nkofo no wom ka ho asem. And na two free SHS nso ye bibia nkofo agi2. Before survey we ni enyantie say political party be here survey ehun say free SHS ni very popular amongst the people. And until now omo leader call associated say on the progressive free SHS buy. So because or person associating who with it. When I be say so the same person I can say ain't possible. Me dey ya me be say progressive free SHS now the buy. Na me charge on fancy. Say me nipa do I bad school because of the implementation of the progressive free SHS. 30 ACDs are Nnawotwi ano. Nipa do say na bad school. No, me met sure because of Nanado's implementation of free SHS, over 5.7 million Ghanaians are benefited. And my school population, it's increased from 800,000 to 1.4 million and counting. That's data. So, enti free SHS no dey aboa awofo pa ma o masum. Enti no dey a kwan bi e be fa so abom ho ban no Ghana for ehia wo mu. Enti na me se Ghana ni wo koto na free SHS da wakoma so a obi kan say the whimsical promises of a desperate politician. It me and find ye for boy want me here. And to say, here one was so 2 billion one fan ko se free SHS mu. To mama, san wo kan and a waste of resources. Omo mbeti me atua ye ma omutua. Menia CMB scholarship wo ho se sia. Enkofo bi wo ho a me say me won fans me kojo na me chia de da kro no mba beza ba so be pam nkofo. Wo mo a na CMB scholarship a delay nti ya wo ka chen kola anso wo ko diska wo parents wo mra e ba no mo de accredit wo mo. So na kojo nkofo sorry ya wo me class no I felt I was scandalized. Class I do on be see school no. And yes class get do. And I can bet my last bottom power say bottom CD say no ebi hu cocoa pod crowd. That's what CMB. That is what we don't want. Nti eye obia Ghana ni bia education up to secondary level is free. Usika no fire investment, fire BB or call university wakwa ye. Na obia nya chance at least secondary education or a taxi driver cry woni be the corruption issues kojo. And this is a very, very critical issue. Omo ye corruption perception index 43, 47, 40 ni nyina ye bibia adwen. So corruption ti e bia borehole bia wo se ba makra ase entimi ma wo so wo kra ase ni nom ti yen hwe kwan a isise e be yen ti na yen digitalization drive no e very apt. Obi o say digitalization there's no nexus between digitalization and the economy. What are you talking about? Dr. Baumiyama example, Apple. The value of Apple vis-a-vis the value, the GDP of Ghana. The value of Microsoft vis-a-vis the value or GDP side of Ghana. These are two different companies who value more because they build apps and people use the apps and the revenue back. And you say, bet me the digital because there's trail no man. What the computer BBR, Obi send them abema usikabine, there are trails. And see, digital you upload BBR. The digitalization will minimize the human interface and then the propensity for corruption. So, the bit me check any mraya dia no. And see, corruption issues there. Then you move the digitalization angle. Then you bet me solve and reduce the issues of corruption.
That doesn't it go and go beyond digitalization? Because, for example, the declining trust in state institutions, say electoral commission, cannot be dealt with through digitalization.
So why are people having mistrust in the
because of the conduct of those.
No, the process need fair. When we say fair, me can be say in 2016 could you? Let me a collation center or Cape Coast North. Do you get it? Me feel say na officer no in charge the conduct was be something to me. And he has stood up and raised issues. Am I almost correct? No, man. Do you get it? And then they war as representatives.
Okay. All right.
And the two I was saying, the judicial system, people's mistrust, and then the police service, no man. Those things I was saying, you take it back to the judicial system.
All right.
Because anywhere there will be chaos, there will be anarchy, and there will be cheating in the system.
Mate, Medasi, 33 after 9.
Surveys are important.
Of a medasi bebre. Let me say a better Afro barometer for almost survey the better findings in our media better abontino. Am I in from baby? Maybe your political party in opposition. There is the need, say you look at this one and see what the needs of people are. Dear Namco for pay. What share you know, I'm the better one. I'm say unemployment is key. 41% of Ghanaians say they need jobs because the government has failed. We have a government that came to office at the back of a slogan, one district, one factory. Came to power, about power. Now I caught them. Your company be a friend of TT Brothers. Ever Pure Company Limited, 1989. Now the signboard that I could see was a one district, one factory. And so, but the company was formed by 7 brothers in 1989. Budget cash and carry. Now, by where the signboard that I see, one of blue jeans. About where the signboard that I see was a free one district, one factory. Offer emrantia ne maba wa ye wie university wie secondary school akọ secondary school na ba aban na ye free such as ni free but akọ school ni wie na oba fie a ote wo ni hweye because the government has not planned any transition for that child intercolana na wodi 18 years 20 years we wie free such as wa ba betre fie when nya admission ko university of fie oni bibi a hoye osore no pa age se ne maame anane papa na ema no 10 cities ana o de didi na onim okoto wache 8 cd onu a waje chito bebre onto enam na aka 2 cd won kotokom sa branch any 2 cities ni ko twa bet because Manchester United ni Chelsea bobo o wini bet no a aban ya oni ni bidie aban ni se me di Ghana koko mentumi amfa ye oman no me wo petrol mentumi amfa ye oman no me wo bauxite diamond oil timber everything every mineral resources you will be meant to me and fair no nsiesi your mind no ade say wo bet no a wo kotwa ye no a wodi 100 Ghana cedis no ena na akufa de se be man say man 1 cedi no fanko siesi your mind Ghana and to be survey no a 79% of Ghanaians say wo mum kan kire ba wo mia ne na akufa do say sa we live no a wo de ba ye Odi baba wo ye town hall meetings kika nse bi bre kire Ghana for sebi enim die mu a nyanse bi amom because wompo you are missing your target you didn't get the revenue you said that money was going to create jobs and to me create jobs ne pay su e command no edin tie the survey no I say na wo share Ghana for 10 nipa 8 say abai no ennim baby a okọ 2 out of every 10 people say the government is not doing well. 8 out of 10. Now, rating of government performance. I say rating of the government economic performance are overwhelmingly negative. When you mathematics, so where bro? It's English, so you can be a math teacher. But English, somebody must interpret it here. Somebody must tell you what it is. Overwhelming negative say. Abaina mbodimbo enfie nwotwiwe ehunu so oman no yenim baby a ye kọ ya tonsuom yensu se baby oman no na akufa do de ye kọ oman no ya yare now san krofo no se ayi abani the programs bi ba ya eye nanso or the planting for food and jobs na de ba ye eso enne bayire ba ko ya ton 40 cities. And it say aban ba not say or they planting for food and job papa beba not the state farms are ba na eduane boy ye din ya yepe enti obo say nipa obo say 81% of Ghanaians say
planting for food and jobs among twaso
yes yeah. Are you okay because oba ye na ton bayire 5 cedi 7 cedi
oh god
bayire 5 cedi 7 cedi and then you ton bayire back of 40 cedis 30 cedis 35 bayire ki tuwa bi 20 cedis 26 cedis enti Ghana for what try say dey be enya sa de ton yete e kom di nipa anwo kire wo man nim ofa hwe say infrastructure base 38 Ghanaians say they need infrastructure 33% say they need health 28% say education free such a whole 28% management of the economy 25% say they want the economy to be managed better because the way enyoma tie enye
25
why yes 25%. That is what 25. Now there is nowhere digitalization came in. Nobody is talking about digitalization because digitalization ye ni any it will show you manual. Share farming and agriculture 11%, corruption 10%. Now what it means they say many abema on mine wa ye timuno ya de show binsa Nana Akufo-Addo ka share Ghana vote say the enti okofa Bawumia ba say oye adwuma Bank of Ghana onim economists. Oko MPP NEC meeting was a function executive meeting of the NPP, the highest order. Catching our say the enti okoyi Bawumia ba so oma bua no solve the economic problems of the country.
Okay.
Now, Bawumia ba ya Bawumia ba ya economy no o manage enu ntia ye de ba ye no. We journey if economy no. So we the depreciation of the city and na me no ka say. Make one to me answer. Me no ka say. What for the me no ka ni say so we share CD depreciation no a John Mahama na Akufo-Addo na 3 cedis 70 pesos.
Yeah.
No 4 cedis 20 pesos.
No problem. 4 cedis 20 pesos. 4 cities, 20 pesos as you are confirming. No? Oh, it's okay, please. I say okay,
that's
please.
Fine. Money, yeah.
So if it is 4 cities, 20 pesos. Some 4 cities, 20, and you see, dollar bako, CD bebre, dollar bako, CD bebre. And then, what the 17 cities? Now they give $1. It's because of that. Milo.
What is the rate?
You like Milo?
Depreciation.
Milo and then Milo bako. Now Milo now you told 5 cities, 6 cities. Konko 10 cities bako later. And then you told Milo Konko bako 41 cities.
Mame, you know what's actually yours, no? And now I talk about one bag 3,000. I thought 30 bags.
Is it right? Not telling. No. 16 bags. You see somebody was speaking. I was quiet.
Director no Eneda Policy Engagement and Partnership ano ewo Center for Democratic Development CDD Ghana Kojo Pumpuni Asante ekasa wodwumedie na ase no wode tudwa se aban adwuma hodo bi mu okopie mu ewo omampani abankesie mu a aposifo Electoral Commission womo a womoje to mrahwebedwafo ene agagefo na okire mu se ekamia yese Ghana fo gidi a womo ewo saafo emu ekofom pa
institutions are yedi tumi amomo so mombo ye ho ban na say problems any ade omo hwe say presidency, members of parliament, courts yeko about we say Electoral Commission ade na I think say the area one say o hwe institutions ni na say Ghana for omo need didi omo nkra trust levels near very low. Now, a chair so say over a period of time, no, trust levels now very low.
Democracy and Development Fellow our CDD Ghana, Dr. John Osai Kwapon, and so the same say Netuja.
No more muyeno, so muma inkofu humu, na omu trase emantiase ba, ebeboa amasa jidie na ekofom ewo mumuno abaso.
All right, okay. It's 42 after 9. What will you bet me afraid? Na ya foul course. Okay, I think that yeah challenges kakranti when I might deal with it in the studio here. So we have about some 13 minutes to wrap up here. Still, let's talk about the Afrobarometer report. The Lanti, you're making a point. Memo 3 minutes for you to complete and then move on. Yes. Yeah, Dela.
Yeah, simple mathematics here. About will take you over now. Unemployment 8.3%. And now many can say it's above 15%.
Not true.
It's 15%.
Okay.
Even if it's not 15%, it will be 14.8% is 15%. No, mathematically. Only maths. Be or your math, be only maths. Kakra only say 14.8% is 15.
That's even wrong.
Why is it wrong?
It's Q3. The end year is what we want, not quarter. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Then the years.
But if it is hold on. But even if it is Q3, number no can is it wrong or is right?
No, it's not. But look at end year.
No problem. Let me make his point.
We are class 2, we are class 3, we are 14.8. I have 5. 15. Everybody knows. Why?
I teach mathematics.
15. Yes, 14.8
right,
is
15. Why? Yeah.
Well, for unemployment or a buyer or shame rantian in Baba Wabo. So the one district, one factory ba. So the buyer, the unemployment rate now 8.3%. No, can be reduced. If it has created job, it would have reduced to 3 to 4%. But unemployment has risen to 14.8%. The children say a buy way and it does one ho. I just say a buy way the Nujana Begia Kumya. Woman to me ye be a nipan koye name. And now I know Cassie. 79% is taxes and an akufado de buy an amwa. Ama it has impoverished them. Ama a here doko na fro ye. Offer. I would chira ba o anymore. Now the young rewo when you say ye wo kire ye no a yesu no a ye di abene a ye di yawo no wo ka se oman ni mo ye din a ye bebo wani so ye no obeko ye di watem se adenti na waka se oman ni mo ye din now so NPP for baby a wonya osika na okro no a wo bo enye no bi na menya bi obi oba ye minister of state nim pass ye nya 1.6 million dollars plus e man kwalete ne nche wi a sa sika no ma no nim se e wi ano enti sa wo nipa no o sa minister no no sika gu nim pass se no o ka kire se o kire wa onte ase esan se ono no onye bidi wo ye MPP ni na wa ban mu no ye ka se oman ni mo ye din a onte ase o didai de ya reho na na Akufo-Addo na wa ye oman ni sei hwe se de wa ye oman bu amembu aye true kan na Akufo-Addo ase oman no aman ne ma me ka se me nkiro na se wo mudum so aba hofa because tie ya na Akufo-Addo aban we de Sonan Asogli independent power producer or the omaka $259 million. Wafa menu mienu ye to light ye tuaka ye to prepaid ye tua sika ni nyina ba aban ho aban ne se wa ye digitalization enti san sika no ye to light kania ye tua no e ko aban ho no e ye den na aban ne de ka $259 million. Now ye hwe two because of the depreciation of the city so over $1 million aye 17 million Ghana cedis 17 million Ghana cedis you can all Ghana cedis aye 170 billion and the abayno de Sonan Asogli energy plant 170 billion times 259 ofa abayno de Sonan Asogli power producer or the neka onu ba kupo or the neka $259 million. $1 million is 17 billion Ghana cedis. 170 billion Ghana 170 billion Ghana cedis. So 170 billion multiplied by 259. And on a bino deka one power. And say ne. So who say won can ye dundum? Nothing ye dundum can ye no. It is because Sonan Asogli power plant. A do woman can ye say abandon the woman kadodo. And it's a Chinese company. Again, Bonnie Benny, they are not Akufo-Addo ni Bawumia. Ah, one and Akufo-Addo, a member ya will through Kaya Wokoi. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you cannot hand over to John Mahama because he was a former president. Or because he's a former president. He cannot hand over to him, but he can hand over to Bawumia to continue the mess. Let me tell you something. And Akufo-Addo, Ghanaians are tired with, or tired. Ghana for bread one would not Bawumia. Bawumia na wode ne ban no wa meboa yen wo na Akufo-Addo na wa meboa yen Ghana for your madwene se ye beto abetia etu atwiri ho na ye to aba ne wie na se Ghana for to aba ne ma wo se ya to aba na ma NDC a na se wo se wo mfa tumi ne mfa ma John Mahama na wo de ba ma Bawumia eho and a Ghana for be kire wo se there is a difference between hot water and cold water.
Medasi and also Sonan Asogli can you saying
$259 million.
You're right. That's true. Yeah, that's how much Ghana did. Yeah.
George. One district, one factory. Our models be brave. Who family business. Now industry no face financial crisis. Now who apply for supporter, they will come and support.
Mamin kase unzo kasa George allow him to make his point. George.
Oh, my comment point.
Oh, no, I'm just...
He's always insulting and...
No, George, don't go there, please. Just make your point.
That is the process. Again, Kasa Preku. The Ben Oba only Ghana. And so the Kasa Preku, Kasa or person be branch or Kasa pay. No, take advantage of the 1D1FR. Why is that we say it shouldn't be recognized as such? B5. St. George constituency, they took advantage, but B5 preceded 1D1F. And so we're taking advantage of it. You get it? And to say the support now by the Amano, 169 as of close of 2023, 1D1F. Okay? And who collapse the banking sector and they take over. And so definitely unemployment will happen. But they are not making statistically. We have Q1 this year. Ghana's GDP growth, Q1 was 4.3. Quarter 2, 6.9. quarter 3 is yet to be out and quarter 4. By the end of the year, the GDP growth itself.
Yeah.
And you cannot use quarter 2 to make your argument.
No, but what actually say in quarter 2?
Yes.
The number of Nkofo no money Jumaya is that figure.
Yes.
It's still troubling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quarter 3. And so the year end of year no will be less than that.
But you see any end of year.
Yes.
Because always what we have.
Maybe the statistically no man. I just want to hold on. Data from 1999 to 2023 is there. We call online or honum. You get it? And some are quoting 3% and other things. Well, it's maybe from the Ghana Statistical Service or International Labour Organization. And no, these are matters. Again, your back survey no akojo. Baby, or can say 25%. There no me we no. If it's a year, free SHS is talking 85% support. Corruption is talking 10%. Normal. That's the aggregation, you know, the impact of that sector on the decision of that individual voter. That is what it is. So, until we had a cross-benefit analysis, these are the matters. Assessment analysis, I'll be factor into it. So, okay, corruption is impact near day. So, free education impact a day. These are matters I hear. Again. Kojo? Oh, Kojo, this.
Okay, no. What is your part and say? I mean, the question said, should the next government retain these ongoing initiatives? And they mentioned free SHS. Yes. 85% say yes.
Yes.
So planting for food,
yes,
planting 81%.
Yes.
One district, one factory, 71%.
And that is not approval.
One village,
what it
one
means
dam,
is that
60%.
the question is that will you want government to continue?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. If it's
yes,
not good,
and they said
yes.
yes.
Say 11 betting tax.
That's fine. That's fine.
Is it not the rejection
George,
of it? Please. Don't
go there.
Statistical
Let's go there.
appreciation of the things to be able to do proper interpretation. Now, say assessment analysis, and no any of the intimate I'll factor the impact of it. So, anti Uber, the energy with NDC few office, could you to me, Ukra, we win. The debt in the energy sector was over $2.4 billion.
How much is it now?
It's around 2 billion or 2.2 billion. You get it? You get it? Yes, yes.
Okay.
But with sustained power, you do so 4 years. Incompetent your mom, and I will say you want to force on that. National health insurance sector. You get it?
Yeah.
And these are a cow 1.2 billion. It is now. Allowances to teacher trainees and nursing trainees. No free SHS in you, Ghana ni. So, 2 about 10 years. South free SHS in you, Krajo Mahama and Timia Sostenia, allow chalk cry, no Timmy Thomas School. District directors of education, no Unicast.
Thank you, George. So, George Medase, so our energy sector debt today, it exceeds $2.3 billion. That is what I am gathering. Anyway, Medase, Nemo, Mami, we say happy birthday. Oh, George, happy birthday to Elizabeth Morrow. Yes, as your friend no. Malizi Sport, we chim our Sempa FM and the Bronte Elizabeth Morrow, our Malizi Sport and our very special birthday to you. Thank you so much. Wow, share it here. Baby, I will be any other say. So can you now? What you this a best share near the Ghana home. Come on here. Nnawotwi Jumedia. So, Madam Production Team, camera and sound for you now. Say best share Nnawotwi the enemy. Good morning. Say na me mo akwa ba mfambra Nnawotwi Jumedia. So nyame ya dom na yakọ aba ma Nnawotwi fo frasa beto ya. O se yetumi dan yame ase ntie be na ase. Na fesu ya da won so ase se ode wa fidie na to ha o ba be hwe Jumedia ba be di nenne. Enei Nnawotwi ensem bebre na na simu. Na ade ba ko ye be as part of Nnawotwi enne is to look at dia eba be si Nnawotwi eda ye ne mu fi se United States of America propose on the 6th of November or more na ebekon is saying yenim say the front runners the current vice president Kamala Harris ojinemu ediama the Democrats and former president Donald Trump ojinemu ediama the Republicans. It's been abe quite a heated battle whilst polls no be brena HS Donald Trump be win no a lot of also HS Kamala Harris and so a good chance to win onim say and can a President Joe Biden and na originally the Democrat but and nyoma ba ko na mienu binti o decided say obesi form na one the Vice President Kamala Harris around it will be an interesting space to look at in TNA yebe nia ebeko who will win nia obe win no nsunsuan so ben na ebewo on the African continent yen say the two parties and our two presidential candidates obia equita the vision but the vision nso ewo nsunsuan so on the larger globe especially on Africa in yebe what that will mean. Also, yenim say the Speaker of Parliament, the Supreme Court, say Supreme Court decision setting aside and our set as about to put on a ruling to declare 4 seats as vacant on hold. Speaker Akko Supreme Court, say Supreme Court ankasa ebe fi sa agina ya ogina no enti ye be hwe ono so warm packet ebe yine mako na watumi ate eno so ase again Ghana so in our run up to our own election on December 7th 2024 Afro Barometer ISF be a say free SHS only Ghana for edu ekasa emum kron say e o say free SHS no ye toa so na so mka na say kire say ene besi nkonya na ya hwe no bako ba ye nenim say political parties I go very hard how much say ye ne de ba ye na ebe ni ye obi so kire say well ye nso ehun say ade no eboa ye ba challenges kakra wo no ye be hwe ne ya ne ye enti ene ye be di eno ho so nkomo why na benefit after the elections but how do we do it well? Again, Afro Barometer also with some corruption findings. A buying Juma Kuo buying and a very corrupt Afro Barometer and social mono Edia by actually the Hunkomo. And many ora George you see a member of the MPP communications team, or also a communications director for NADMO, Baba Kansani and Nedin Komo. Della Adom, a member of the NDC's national communications team, Baba Kansa our studio. Na ebano the American elections yene doctor yene or Professor Godwin Eche Sikanku, head of Directorate for Research, Innovation and Development ewo Unimac by Unimac no or GIJ, the Ghana Institute of Journalism ewo Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin, political marketer, University of Education Winneba on also joining on the phone lines na yene no edin komo me jina me production team ora AC Ohinida no na mama akwa aba to the show me da say what do we feed na to a menka wo say dwumade no twa ne ho ewo Asempa FM 94.7 baby o be da say what do we feed to a utie e twa ne ho so Facebook obetumi akọ Facebook na wo dwo adwenkyere ato me hwema fa na makan mo bia so ate wo de ye from Samuel Kojo Brace me twa mo hotel na maba me ba ye de pensem no e be sha ase woni entina Ambra Nnawotwi Jumadi so ewa Adom TV if you ha twa ne ho ewa Asempa 94.7 FM. Well, yen sha say emfi the American politics. Na yen share ne eba beko yenim say on the 6th of November America beko post ako elected a president. Ebeye Kamala Harris of the Democrat, current vice president, and ebeye Donald Trump, former president, on the ticket of the Republicans. Yenkwe na yene penifo munimde in this matter. Professor Godwin Eche Sikanku, head of Directorate for Research, Innovation and Development, or Unimac, but the Ghana Institute of Journalism, or Unimac, and on me sure say Misaka Prof. Ewa Homano Yenshe ni Indin Komo Prof. Majo Machi Biabo Kode. Well, I have to so Prof. The Yan Beka airport Casam, we are Mebo Modena, Machre Mukaka, Ewo, Akan Casa, now also at me. Prof, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Okay, all right. We'll try and see if we can. Yes, I can. But Dr. Bernard Tutuboa here so and yes, I can so I'm so. I need a political marketer. Ochra there or the University of Education. Whenever you say yes, I can to me. Any needing come. But onim say let me remember more than na mention here and go for about what elections could mean for Africa. Now, and go for say nipa BIA US voters bet you see as our next president, you know. Say by former president, but obia we are suffering because the issues about abortion, LGBT are a huge issue, not just for Americans but all of us. Inti nipa betu about man no will determine whether how maybe those discussions in ebeko. Inti we'll try and raise Dr. Sikanko and Professor Sikanko and Dr. Bernard Tutuboa and any more. But in studio, we were George AEC, member of the MPP's National Communications Team, and also the Communications Director for NADMO, Nobaba Kansawa. George, we have a call.
About the other, my mini Okojo Brace. Great for the second
our days at 80 elephant.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
venerable
yes.
I hold your leg. I hold your leg. Anyway, Orat them, a member of the NDC's National Communications Team. Also, everyone. No, the minimum and my bisano.
Your kind, what you have here?
But my nadio, and you remember stepmother,
Oh,
and I spent, you know, majority of my time. Yeah. I wonder why. Meant to me. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's start with the U.S. elections. George.
Yeah.
Actually, U.S. elections in most more require. I mean, analysts are or Benyan on the African continent.
Definitely.
What expectations to then from what will happen on the 7th of November in US?
Yo, Minchia, production crew, and many other ladem. Yeshia Ache. The Minchia, I have phone and a chief Minchia, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Kufuor, the President of the Republic, for the Jumedia Boamagana, and Nabedi, His Excellency the Vice President. Also, I hear Frank Tunima. MPP in this election. Well, my the Vice President is campaigning to Zobia of your position here to me about government, and that excites me. The United States elections, because you polls be neck to neck. 1.2, 1.4% margin, national and state surveys, neck to neck. And no correct. On say Obama bano, Africa in particular, just say once a black man banner there. But baby said there be policy now for the buy and said that more Africans. Okay. No factor research in service establishes the policies baby and said that we are near need that so no and yes sir. Yeah, but so the truth of the matter is Republicans one of the key area family planning and those things NGO so I want that side no almost a fakakra because almost support to abortion and it's related normal and funding for PPAG related NGOs now within the family planning environment or ecosystem challenges kakra because Republican leadership anti-abortion more policy. About LGBTs who are almost too supportive of that. Those are matters into because Joe Biden, openly support for those LGBT community and go. But say America, most states support the we a leader. You must be careful the way I over thread normal on LGBT issues. And a foreign aid in normal so na e be here as a Republican for no or more especially African that the Democrats more tilted towards supporting it on it. Yes, our NGOs are Africans so they don't support a Republican Party winning in there. Every year, time Republicans they suffer a little. Those are the issue. Another key one, could you? And no, dear Africans, migration. Migration into the Trump, on about it. Was so no dear. Wo back country now, I was so illegal. What was all described as even weaponized? Also, weapons no criteria, US military weapons and grenades because we are banner illegal. No, our weapons and grenades are higher, more powerful than the American Donald Trump war. And see, yes, or protecting the country, yes,
without
true.
documentation.
But you must relax it a little. The people feel say, also you will be or kakra and sana, walk through process. No, oh, no, I was a young coffee or Spain, or through Libya, Ponoso do bebre obisu kofa the Mexico forest. No mo de room could see US. So or one are regularizing a stay. Na fe de aboa. Enye bebre na timi call the way I call waka ticket when your visa or fly waka days are power san there be. So e be kwako survival. And see the policy of the winning candidates, who have that telling. If I the truth is a Ghana for Africa for baby migrating to US legally or illegally. Baby, forgive me, but you know, bonofo no go outside pa. Okay. You get it, baby. So it be far desert, the normal. Do a bomb with all this struggle, no, it's me a remua. Oh, ni akoswano the next plane available aircraft. And many of you doing say also protecting the country, so that illegal people and co will know. But again, so US you may be brave or the American citizen person. So when the election in November I want to transfer African leaders, business partnership, also have aid normal. So those aid packages, saying they are kind back about 8.8 billion was blocked. What does it tell you? They say, also we a government for Africa, so we realign our budget. Saying we be to be tilted towards getting those areas. We wish the American people all the best. Our campaign also difficult, serious. Donald Trump. Still radical people, because of our policies, the American one will you sue say the migrants are coming to steal your jobs. Yeah. So and that is getting the American to buy into his programs and policies. So could you Kamala and so Nanya Brea will tutu nanamo neck to neck very soon but we wish the best.
All right. The security. The U.S. and Africa, have some very wonderful relationship in terms of security. But Nancy, Russia too is getting some foothold on the continent. A convention now who said this election could affect that relationship with Africa.
NDC regional and national executives. Of us, U.S. about to an election. I am intrigued when I watch some of the things debates in the idea. Okay. The Imam and DJ want to say Trump to me seems to be somebody who loves his country too much. Most Trump loves America so much that he's implementing policies, very tough policies to protect America. And that is all it is. And there are people say, oh, he's been too tough. Some will might be to say America. Now the borders are open for people from Mexico and other things can come in 2, 3 million, 4 million to my country in a year. And maybe I'm grow for ye Juma and yet. But Juma will say me grow for ye no Fajia. That's how your president don't say. I am closing down. I am sealing. Is Middle East and whatever it is. So I cannot pay Yebio. I don't do those things. He doesn't do that. And when you sit down and listen to him, I say America must work again. I feel say yes, when he becomes a president again, and now say whatever it is, there are certain policies that will affect Africa. one thing is say Oshe campaign or yenwa or Kansas and your presidents are Russia Ukraine war okay NC waka say he would have warned Russia about it okay NC waka say China there might be a China you know anytime on year because of no on year and it truly if he becomes the president again there are certain things that Africa will not benefit Africa will benefit let me say no time in this American Energy Compact be by I will benefit almost $390 million. So, why or some way?
Yeah.
One of the things I see, they say, I don't see Harris as somebody who is prepared for the presidency. Who said she was? She never thought of it. When said Biden, Beko, and unfortunately, Biden had dementia. Ojinawa or can someone who did the oka, and I drew. And now, unknown Ababedi as a lead. And if you look at her, you realize that this is not someone who is not prepared. But you see, election is an election. If she is able to talk about things that the Americans want, because we said we're close to gap, no, the gap was around 8 to 9% or 6%. We're closer to almost 2. There was a time crowd no problem leading.
Yeah, and that more year or more first presidential debate in the year. Obelidi.
Yeah.
Because in the one between Trump and Biden, there was a huge gap.
Huge gap.
But not Biden.
Well, close to gap, but not too much. Between Biden and Trump, there was a huge gap. But Mami Baye will have a close to gap, because he's talking about abortion-related issues. Say you are a woman and you want to abort. The country should give you the option to choose because if you have been raped, and you have a pregnancy, but Trump says no, you cannot abort pregnancy. So he's also the campaign, feminism kind of thing. So it's an interesting scenario. I will hope say in the next 5 days or 4 days.
Yeah, it will be on the 6th
or 7th of November. So we are hoping that the best will come out of whatever it is. Let Americans vote. It will as whether it will have a common idea of Ghana, no, and yet common the war US. A common idea of Ghana, and then will be the war America. And no matter what the outcome, whether they vote for Harris or they vote for Trump, and then you talk watch it, you talk watch it, but what watch it,
okay, so usually my watch is say 10 cedis.
George, but Shaima, you talk watch it 2 cedi, 3 cedi. And will be on Titema Biaba, a bedija, Madina, or bedija Shama because Ashama Joma Boyfo. Obo we fear da efienya sege or mukita sa crops garden eggs tomatoes rubber ton washama it uba shama early morning the market price of items very affordable
okay
and then you watch 7 cities washama watch 7 city it doesn't happen because we first we watch 2 city on top 3 cities on top but and then you watch 8 cities 7 cities so obi wa Ghana that's what surround upon to watch 8 CD. Macaroni, you man 2 CD, 1 CD, 2 CD. What to kusuya bako 4 CD and I said 3 CDs 50 pesos. Things are really tough in Ghana. And nobody is will say they best see American but they compare Ghana. No, our situations are completely different. Completely different.
Okay.
And the American policies, yes, it will affect us. Some of the policies they will implement becoming president, Trump and Harris, you know. Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Whatever policy they will implement will affect us in the same way under Obama or whatever. Bill Clinton, the same policy. Some of them are pro-African, some of them are not. And that is, it's the same thing that nothing will change.
But I want not me person who the security wise because it looks like Russia is having some foothold on the continent. But I mean, say okay, elections are on Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
November.
Thank you.
But just that dear no. In Ghana, I think the dawn of Wednesday, which will be safe.
Okay.
Or more to Tuesday or more.
Okay.
But the dear no be on Wednesday, you know, 12. I'm saying the elections will be coming in around 1-2 a.m. So
if he says Trump will be president again, in terms of security, there are certain things that will not happen. For instance, Iran to be attacking Israel because Israel is in a tangle with Hamas and all kind of thing. Now I say Iraq will say, I am getting involved and you go to attack Israel. If Trump is the president, it will not happen. The United States will not allow some of these things to happen.
Really?
Yes.
They're not bad.
Oh, see, America was strategy be adopted. So we're attacking a country that is an ally to America.
Yeah.
Before you realize, the next morning you see their soldiers bringing arms guns, armor cars to the country. What it means is say if you don't stop, we will support that country to fight you.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh yeah, Israel. If you fight Israel, they will, all they need to do is to talk to you to say you should stop what you are doing because America is the and Israel ally. We share this Arab countries who are only the only interest of America in that region.
Yeah.
And so when you attack Israel, you are attacking America. And so say Russia fight here and Ukraine. What on so many occasions say or your president you would have won Russian president.
Putin. Vladimir Putin.
Putin said, "Don't go, don't do it because we are."
And we are outside of the African soil. So,
yes.
But
the African,
so
Oba.
Wagner, or more intrusion in the continent.
So I would say, probably, I don't know his policies on that particular yet, but I feel say he has interest everywhere. When he was the president, he had interest everywhere. Now, Oba Africa, for instance, any country, African country. You are threatened, your security is threatened. When you speak to America for intervention, they are able to set bases. They train African soldiers. They come, they involve. It's a Ghana crowd, we have benefited from them in some way.
US Africa.
Africa, yes. So America has the, or no, when you write to them, say, oh, we want help. The AC will be a Burkina Faso, no, your borders are not safe. We want you to come and help us. Something like that. So for them, they are always interested. We hope, say, the best will come out of him. So whoever wins.
Was the Burkina for a okay president called US Biden Kokan Wagner, the insecurities in Burkina.
Said almost starting now one chance, but later they understood they were able to.
We understood it from now. That time the answers basically we understand. Say it's okay. It's okay. There was nothing wrong with that.
Okay. All right. Ogoswa share Nnawotwi Jumedi. Ubetumi ako Facebook Adom TV. Na weja comment no ho. Aya ma wasem no ehonte udi atama menkan. Na ehonte de amehwe makan mo bia so etumi atebi. Mene George AEC of the MPP and Dela Adom of the NDC and Edinkomo. Me one can before I say be a discussion say ya na be kono. Anyway, what is happening between the speaker and the majority caucus at the Supreme Court? I mean, this week the Supreme Court etna assembly. So, so much as the lawyer for Parliament. I mean, Ora Fadio sorry, on filing a statement. But the lament started to Nieko so Supreme Court no only saying.
Well, for me, that's Bebre. I mean, say Supreme Court has said, "Yeah, yeah, Guasiama by." Edikai, and now Kufari a lawyer. On this JHS for me, Chiromadi, and I say SSS for me, Chiromadi. Akufo don't understand Article 97(1)G of the Constitution.
More 7 minutes on this so that you know.
The President Akufo understands Article 97(1)G of the Constitution.
Yeah.
We are a member of Parliament. Party be the two of them now call Parliament. And you see, but who could do Parliament there? And you see, George, say, now I've decided to work with the NDC. I am no more. Even if you support an independent candidate, you are forfeited your membership of the party.
MPP Constitution.
MPP Constitution. Hey. 16. Open, yes.
I've been educated. George,
forfeiture of membership.
Is in your constitution?
Yes.
I've been educated. Someone, I was, you know, I spoke to Afeoma, a lawyer called me and said, handles a lot of those cases. The MPP, explicitly in their constitution, what they do, they say, so more call a friends prime minister. Then I said, terms of agreement or whatever.
Yeah.
Say don't me enco.
No, buy bonds
but it is not in your constitution. No, that's what
it is in there.
They are subservient to
exactly. Good. That's the constitution.
Yeah.
It is MPP called Supreme Court, and that's our court or the constitution or the defendant who say against the Famina MP.
Yeah.
Say we are the MP. You to Abama. Oko Parliament, I was only NDPP for a year, maybe only party be the age. You have forfeited your membership of the party. But you open for me, I want you to pay 16. Forfeiture of membership. What for? The entire makers are say you try and call more SSS DNA, you can't Article 97(1)G. There has not been any occasion SSS students be an JHS in say. say what is the meaning of Article 97. But we have Afonyo Michael, a lawyer and majority leader in parliament, claiming that he does not understand this one and he needs an interpretation. So he runs to Supreme Court. He even attempted to place an injunction on parliament not to discuss the matter at all. Abaya debo teaching. Mama yen find one for moba. Nana Akufo-Addo call for Mina 2020. Eko jina campaign so catch for Mina for. And MPP for you woman jina fi MPP WhatsApp platforms. Say you are no more MP because all context as independent. It will be you woman jina fi WhatsApp platforms. Hafa. Dear Elkosi, Speaker ruled in Parliament. He ruled. The sad aspect is it.
I've seen something.
See it.
I've seen something.
I was in Kumasi and I read it.
Constitution of the New Patriotic Party.
Good.
9, forfeiture of membership.
Good.
1, or say, okay, a member of the party who stands as an independent candidate against the officially elected member of the party, or who joins or declares his or her support for another political party or for an independent candidate when the party has sponsored a candidate in a general or by-election, automatically forfeit his or her membership of the party. Interesting.
Thank you, boss. And that is what it is. And so the 3 members of parliament, including the NDC Aka has been MC under Professor Mills. He was an MC or the MC or DC of Professor Mills. Ebedi wa mampeni mama 8 years. Waba parliament 8 years. Wako primary no lusua. He decided to contest as independent.
Primaries mafia.
Okay. So if the person decides say we want to use somebody else.
That's not fair.
So let's say the process was not fair. It happens in the political party.
Yeah, I know.
But you see, when the party selects somebody, say you are the candidate, campaign ceases. Let's be rational. And you see, we are in the same party. I contest you in the Esikado or Aguna West. When we need, I have no right to contest you as independent candidate. I must support you because a time will come. I will also come and I will need your support. So you don't do those things. Now, Obi or MPP ni be or lawyer be na dwere mu da ho be be say the AC of parliament no e your fault. They know say what is happening in parliament today. They know say the 3 members no we defend you no. They are no more MPP members because of their constitution. They know. But you see, why has the MPP not been able to take action against those people? It is because now parliament, there is no comfort in parliament. The moment you want to take action against these 3 people, you become minority. That is the side aspect. That is the reason. And that is what the MPP is trying to do. And to only be said, you know, and yet only be said, Yamra, only be said, Nipa and Sanua, one more contest as independent candidate against MPP chosen candidate.
No,
let me say something. You see, you know something. For me now, the whole MPP is full of lawyers. But I felt say they made miscalculation. What they needed to do was to let the guy file as independent candidate. Then the whole constituency, MPP will not file any candidate at all. Then the MPP will now marshal behind the independent candidate Isiama to run the election. They are not filing any candidate.
That's
simple.
Simple. Because between 1996 and I think 2008 or so, the MPP nominee candidate in Elembele.
Thank you.
They never filed.
Because
of Papa Indra. It's not more supporting.
So Freddie Blaney constituency. The MPP never filed the candidate against him. So Andrew Siama for me now, or MPP ni, wako independent, wasaba be join them. When they say constitution is said that munjai no non-contesting. Party will not file. Your candidate will win the same numbers. Now the MPP says we are filing a candidate. He filing as our adopted candidate on the path.
Okay.
Now, Mami, we will see the sad aspect. Today, who say you have the Attorney General who is supposed to defend states. Say Attorney General is buying state institutions, fighting state institutions. Attorney General is fighting Parliament. He's fighting Parliament. He's fighting the Speaker. He's the one defending the government against his own government, against his own arms of government.
How?
Good. Yes, let me explain to you. The Attorney General is supposed to defend state institutions.
Yes.
Parliament is a state institution.
Yes.
Good.
The executive is a state institution.
The executive is the judiciary is.
Yeah.
There is no independence here. So when the STC court on there, it is the Attorney General who will come and defend.
Yes.
What the VA require is the same way with the Parliament quarter. It is the Attorney General who is supposed to defend Parliament. Today, unfortunately, under Nana Akufo-Addo, we have Attorney General who is fighting one arm of government. Attorney General is fighting his own government.
No, but Dela.
Yes.
So him say the Attorney General raised the same point in court.
That what?
That the Constitution mandate or no as Attorney General.
Yes.
To defend Parliament, and so on TSC even why Thaddeus sorry and they defend it. But whatever Supreme Court Bekano on the he's okay. Okay, I say because of that, he even brought up the issue. Say the can say PPA Amma Parliament approval. Say Thaddeus sorry high no on retainer. For Parliamentary service.
If you talked about, if you
yes,
said
okay, Supreme Court.
It is,
and you know, can say.
But the argument is that it will not be fair.
Yes.
If you say, or no, Sanko defend it when he has interest in this one.
And we didn't have again. We didn't have interest in Parliament as well.
We didn't envisage a speaker from the other side. That's part of the.
Even a more file a case, you know.
Yes.
We're wrong to have attached speaker.
Yes.
To it. That the person they should have attacked was Attorney General.
Because he defends the
yes.
Thank you.
But once somebody
fantastic
speaker they can the Attorney General they can then of course you brought in two
people in the same government fighting themselves.
So then the speaker had to.
Well, I have a feel say if the MPP comes into become minority in 30 days and they know say they are winning the election 2020.
And we are winning.
Which will never happen.
We are winning. Market on the wall.
Listen. If they don't say,
for 3 minutes, in your time.
If the MPP knows that they can win the election, they will not be worried about 36 days struggle in Parliament.
What's who got E-levy?
Yes, we want to remove it. We say we want to remove E-levy when we have majority. We say we will not allow you to sell VRA. We say we will not allow you to give a tax waiver of 350 million. A country like ours. A confirm we school to fear yenye jumanye. Abai say, but the tax of $350 million check. Serious guy.
I'm grateful to you.
Over 30 something 7
it's 43 now. Yes.
You are right. So you don't worry.
Yeah, let me come to you.
Yeah, Kojo Breeze. Me too voice and many adjust. Joy for we are there. Yemra Kojo. Sam matter. Who can say the laka? Who can Article 97? You assume say that's it's explicit and others. But Kojo, the truth is that this Article 97 is a Parliament specific, and Parliament be a unique. This Parliament is a eighth Parliament.
Yeah.
The concept of crossing carpet. From the British Parliament, meboa. There was a bench. We are no across, so now call the other side. Now, it's for that specific. Mr. Wokojo, in Great Britain, your Constitution, 1992 Constitution, is a blend of the British Parliament and the United States system. And when you enter a majority of your ministers, if you Parliament, you know, that's the British system. And the executive.
According to my production, you're a hybrid constitution.
Hybrid, thank you. That's the term. I'll be, could you?
The production team.
That is a no use. In the British system, I co adopt to you.
Yeah. Say you can be Russia, Ukraine. You Parliament,
secondary school, social studies didn't know about which I know me. So, almost dissolve Parliament. When Parliament is and sign our court, the day of dissolution is day zero. Then you go to your constituency and then file the processes. 25 days. In the 25th day, no matter what, you get it. Until whether you were a conservative or a Labour person or you decide to go independent, it's inconsequential to the matters and happenings of Parliament. Because Parliament is dissolved. Is it fair? Kojo bet makache, why interview for P? I'm listening to you. In all the interview, for BB dementia, and the intent of any of them is it to cross carpet in the 8th Parliament, or the attack is that because your electoral system is concurrent with the sitting of Parliament.
Okay.
You get it? And in the action towards the next election, Parliament cannot be divorced from the workings of this Parliament. Every intention of these 4 people has nothing to do with this current Parliament. You see here interpretation of that clause. So it's not that. What is the spirit? Lawyer for back to the purposive interpretation of the article. So and no near and you're the letter. What's winning? And you almost throw away almost share 1969, 79, and on here who said for because Parliament no more move. And Nkrumah took a lot of the people from the other side.
To stop that.
Good.
Common sense.
Maybe that's what the intention was to stop that.
So the recent example they normally cite is Professor Seni,
Yes. Well, you say me.
It was the same also. No, I'm not doing business.
That is the purpose of this. Any election process will be any intention. Yes, the argument by Professor Michael Quay. Lawyer Tatia, maybe no. Lawyer Tatia at that time disagreed with Professor Michael Quay. But nobody took it up because now effect, and yet senior TSC. But they say, Obi said no, you ain't transfer or see a move near correct. So, that is the matter. Let's look at the
even on that score,
of that.
Many former Supreme Court judge, a friend is saying, Justice William Atuguba Eddie Nkomo.
Okay.
Now, I say. In 2020, Michael Quay, Massa ruling. Now he disagreed with him.
Okay.
Said you cannot do that.
Okay. But he was recommending say high court should have done that.
But exactly. But having listened to a speaker back then ruling, he sort of agrees with him.
But I disagree with
no. So what it means is that even Omomonim law,
disagreement. Something that we want the lawyer, You got it. And those are the matters. And that made me feel say, have interpretation. At what point do we divorce the workings of the existing Parliament? Because all these 4 people, my conduct, has nothing to do with this existing Parliament. But the purpose of this clause is to stop the cross-carpeting because numbers play very vital role in parliamentary democracy. So now you call the issue of separation of powers, the powers assumed by the speaker acting like a god. I disagree. The Chief Justice, I made the ruling anyway, no many also I'm the buyer, no, because you almost they stay of I said the ministers should stay. And I see Kwame Pranko presented budget. And the Kwame judgments I said, Debbie, you understand I see a vertimo. That administration is over. There's a new administration. Maybe I will miss it. And they must come to Parliament for vetting. And since he about vetting, he cannot hold himself as Minister of Finance. He went to stay there. Now Kwame Pepra was in Parliament that day to present the budget. Speaker Anna DF Anna got there and then he read it there and said because of this ruling by the Supreme Court, budget will not be presented. That is, if you will make the argument and say because he was on the bench, so he knows the functionings of the bench. Into respecting Supreme Court.
But that man was a very solid man.
Very solid man. You tell me the way Bear say Speaker Bagby should have respected the stay of execution.
Which is the stay of execution?
Do you get
this? Is it not a shame?
Baby? He should have respected. He didn't respect it. And it's sad. It's sad for Adom. And then Chief Justice he can say, even the president could you be Article 2, Clause 4. Being ahead of the 1992 Constitution. Even the president and the vice president are subject to the dictates of the Constitution.
Is that true?
Yes.
So why did the president refuse to sign LGBTQ?
No, maybe.
Why did the president?
Oh, maybe.
Constitutionally,
no. Yes, there's a human right issue.
Useless president to say whatever.
Supreme Court.
The president refuses to sign LGBT.
No, there's a human right issue.
You said the battle in the battle is of the law. You kept deceiving everybody.
The means of the Supreme Court. You may disagree with them.
What he saying doesn't make any difference. The substance. What is the substance? What is it?
Manning candidate throw their to hold. Exactly.
Those are the things. Or see the topic of the Maya, the court and the speakers disagreement. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you didn't touch on that. Damn, I didn't touch on it. That is the issue. Concept of the separation of powers, by Montesquieu. I say not to concentrate power in the hands of only one wing of the government structures. And only way, there should be checks and balances.
George, so I see that as Article 2. I say every person in Ghana are equal before the law and entitled to fundamental human rights and freedoms.
Oh, 2-4, maybe.
4 rather.
4.
I see.
Clause 4.
No,
clause 4.
Don't worry. I'll
check it. 2 clause 4.
When they are in tight corner, they can do anything. These people.
Oh, could you kind my own? I cannot
They behave like 419 group of people. 419.
Which one? The one which says failure to obey or carry out the terms of an order or directions or given under clause of this article constitute a high crime under this constitution and shall in the case of the president or the vice constitute a ground for. Okay.
He never anticipated saying you read.
Hold on.
I was insisting to he should read.
He never anticipated saying you read.
Dela, allow him.
You are a dunderhead. Completely.
When you were talking, he didn't interject any
But I'm always saying that.
Don't worry.
He never asked you to read for him.
Don't worry, let him do
What is your problem?
What is this?
I'm okay.
What is that better? I just come to Canada.
So when somebody cross the carpet, I know say I'm okay.
Dela,
yes, my neighbor.
Allow him to make his point.
I wouldn't want him to interject the way. If I don't want him to read, will I tell him to read?
Of course.
And that is the article I want. That's all.
Is that separation of powers?
I think what it tells you is everybody must submit to the authority.
George has a point. No.
You know what to say?
No,
stop doing that.
See, also constitutional, but also Article 2, I say, the Supreme Court shall, for the purposes of a declaration under clause 1 of this article, make such orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declaration. So
go and read interference. Read interference of parliamentary affairs.
Okay,
the Supreme Court is not supposed to interfere in the affairs of
It's not interfering. It's not interfering.
Go ahead.
Because there should be interpretation. Interpretation is not been done
yet.
Hold on. Because 1997, until 1997, J.H. Mensa was seeking that interpretation. Now, and I say you can't allow the execution of the thing when the interpretation has not been done. And to hold on till we finish with the interpretation. J.H. Mensa versus the Attorney General.
1996.
97. It is April. Go kind of here. We are sorry, but now I can't minia. Could you? Young Kosu. Young Kosu. And for checks and balances. And yes, sir. Who's the speaker? Oba power na DBA also number 3. That's pension for power. I think that any actions is just towards giving his political party an advantage in an election period. And and yet the interest of the nation. What's here, Supreme Court Chief Justice? Oh, see, we are in a constitutional crisis. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Because
somebody's arrogance of power.
Okay.
And he thinks he can subdue the nation and hold the nation to ransom.
George.
Mr. Last one.
No, I'll come back to you. You still have some time. Let me go to Dela. Dela, I'll give you.
But Dela has not been fair to me.
I know.
But I'll not revenge.
But before I say about hono, the Chief Justice Ninsamo Kanye na yeba betwa so ewa Chief Justice
to talk
why do you need to go and
the manner
for exercising discretion in the orders